Hi guys, it's Miss New in here. So today what we're going to do is we're going to make some natural ink. Before I go through the recipes, I'm just going to show you some natural ink that I made last year. This one's made from blueberries, and these two here are made from some tea. This one's made with rooibos tea. It has kind of orangey color, and I've also used some black tea. So when you're making your your natural inks today, you need to think about things that have a lot of color. So if you were using green tea, usually it comes out a very clear color, so it won't have a color. So I'm just going to show you what the natural inks look like on paper. So that's my blueberry ink. Now it's a little bit old now. Just give you another layer of it. It's really interesting that when it dries, it used to dry with a kind of bluey color. This is the rooibos ink. Now it's caught on some of my blueberries, so I really should clean my paintbrush. And the colors turn out very light. That's the black tea ink, and you can see that the color comes how the colors turn out. So the natural ink colors tend to be a very soft color because we're using some water as well. So we're going to be making some natural tea inks today. You just pick an ingredient that you do have at home. So what I'm going to experiment with today is some red onion skin peel. You can use blueberries, you can use flower petals. Try to pick only one color. Could be some red rose petals, they might have some interesting colors. You could use tea, so think of your dark colored teas and you have to rip them out of the tea bag. You can use leaves, maybe collect a collection of green leaves. I have some spirulina ink. You could also use some spices as well, ones that have a lot of color, so you can get something like turmeric, which has a deep kind of yellow color. Use any natural ingredients that you can. So I'm going to just experiment with some red onion skin. So basically I've just peeled off the skin, not off the actual onion itself, but just the dry bits that are on the outside. And you need about a handful. So with the ingredients, what you need is a handful of the natural item that you want to use, a cup of water. Now this one's optional, but I think it's better to have it, is a teaspoon of white vinegar. If you don't have the white vinegar, that's okay. Now I forgot to write on your handout that you also need some salt. You'll need an old pot because it might stain, a funnel. So when we pour out your tea ink, there's going to be bits and pieces. So we're also going to need a paper towel, and that's going to be used as a filter. And a spare jar, an old jam jar or anything like that that you might have to store your ink in. So to start off with, what all you need to do is gather all your materials. So choose an ingredient: blueberries, onion skin, leaves, flowers. In an old pot, put your ingredient in. So I've got my old pot here. I'm going to move this over. And I'm just going to put my onion skin in. Then I'm going to put my cup of water in. Now this is a actual measuring cup. It looks really cute. It looks like a babushka doll, but I've poured in my 1 cup. You will need a pinch of salt. I'm just going to do a grind of salt and a teaspoon of vinegar. When you've put your ingredients together, you need to put it on the stove. Please have your parents help you, and put it on a really low heat. It's to cook for about an hour. I would look at it at about 30 minutes just to see, and keep it below boiling. You don't want it to boil because it'll just evaporate too much and it might burn. So I've heated my natural ink for I think about 30 to 40 minutes, and I've noticed that the liquid has reduced quite a bit and I can see color in there. So I thought I'd press stop because I thought if I waited any longer, I won't have any water left. So what we're going to do now is actually pour our natural ink into a jar. But what you need to do first is get your funnel ready. So with your funnel, what you're going to do is we're just going to fold paper towel in half and in half again. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open one of the flaps out like this, and put it in my funnel like that. So that acts like a filter. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that into my jar, and because my water is still hot, and if your water is still hot, I would recommend that you ask your parents to help you. And I'm just going to pour it through. I'll just let that sit there for a bit and see if any liquid falls out. But that is my natural ink. So today, to upload on Seesaw, all I want you to do, just want you to tear a piece of paper as a sample and then just dip it in like this. Take a photo of the sample and upload onto Seesaw for me so I can see how the color of your ink has turned out. Give it a go, guys. Have fun, and don't throw it out. Keep it in, let it cool down, close it with a lid, and we will be using it in the next lesson. Bye for now.